Hi, everyone. Let's go ahead and get started since it is just now noon, and I'm hoping Zoom won't kick me off again so I can get through the introduction. Sorry about that. See how my computer is working today. So I want to thank everybody for coming on today. I'm really excited to start a holiday marketing, and Merry Christmas to everybody. Merry early Christmas anyway. So we are in for a treat today because we have Barb Shuck, who is presenting, and she has more than 35 years of marketing expertise to help you focus on what you do best, which is delivering your superior products and services to your clients. So we're going to get into the holiday mood by going over some aspects of holiday marketing today. And just real quick, I wanted to say a couple of things about the Small Business Administration. We are partnering with SCORE on this set of workshops. And for those of you that aren't familiar with SBA, we are the go-to federal resource to help folks start, grow, expand, and recover your business. And we work very closely with SCORE, and you're going to be hearing more about that here towards the end of the presentation, but that is enough from me. So I'm going to go ahead and turn things over to Barbara.
Hello, everybody. I want you to see my red sweater that I have on, even though it's like 80 degrees outside, and I have my Christmas decorations back there. So we're all in the mood. And we were just talking for a few minutes online about how we're already starting to see Christmas decorations and getting in the mood. And so it's kind of like, yay. But the most important thing about holiday success is planning. And what does that look like? So my computer's going to have to wake up for just a minute. There we go. So as we go through today's presentation, make sure to ask some questions through the chat box, and I'll be glad to answer them as we go along. That way we're staying on topic and you don't forget everything until the very end. So now I'm going to ask y'all a question. Are you generally business to consumer or business to business kind of business that you have for your company? And that will kind of help us direct the conversation so that we're hitting on those topics that are most important to most of the people in the audience. So are you B2C, B2B, B2B, B2C, consumer, B2B? So far, we're kind of pretty much evenly split. So very interesting, good, business to consumer. So good, that's really very helpful. So now the next question is really important, are you a brick and mortar kind of company where you have a shop, an office, a business side, a retail location, or are you a service? Or are you an online business? And you may be a brick and mortar company with an online business, but kind of where are you expecting most of your holiday traffic? Brick and mortar, service, online for now. Good, good. Online. Good. This is very helpful. Online and service, brick and mortar. So we just kind of have a good mixture along this. And so I think all of the topics will be applicable to whether or not your customers are businesses or end users, clients, or customers, as well as both online as well as kind of in-person marketing tactics and strategies. So I think we're going to hit it. I will have a spot later on for brainstorming for everyone. And that's, again, you know, we can do that in the chat box. And then I have question time at the very end. But like I said, if you've got comments or questions, please, let's just keep it going. So kind of as we all know, the holidays are coming fast, and I did Google it, and there are 86 days left in 2020, which means we've got a lot of work to do in a kind of a short period of time. The last 4 months of the year tend to be some of the busiest, and I know in a lot of retail business environments, this is your hottest time of the year. And so now is the time, if you haven't started already, to start planning, anticipating, pivoting and adjusting. What is the economy going to be doing? How are you going to change the way you do your sales operations and those kinds of things? But now is the best time to start thinking about it, because we want to try to avoid the burnout, the grumpy families, the just pure exhaustion, and not being really kind of fun to be around. So I think when we all have a good idea of where we want to go and we have the steps to get there, then once we're in the middle of this, it doesn't feel quite so chaotic. It can be busy, but if we can remove the chaos and the stress, then we're going to have a healthier lifestyle. Our families, significant others, and most importantly, our clients and our customers will have a better experience with us. That's why the planning part is really important. So in some of the research that I've done, to have a meaningful holiday season, we tend to focus on brick and mortar holiday, specials and discounts and sales and decorations. And even so, what we're also seeing is that with COVID and with changes in how shops are operating and things like that, I think we're really having to adjust this year and looking at the online alternatives and how do you get people into your shops or control how they're going to be coming in and what is that experience going to be like. What's important is to let go of the have-tos and the should have. Only you really know what's going to work best for your business. And you're the CEO, you are in control of that. And I know for myself as a small business owner, I often have these little scripts in my head and I need to stop and say, wait a minute, I don't have to do anything. Let's talk about what is it that's ahead of me? How can I be the most successful? And how can I be creative and have fun all at the same time? So just a little bit, Elizabeth kind of introduced me, but it's 35 years in marketing and sales. And I am a small business owner and I have been a small business owner with a printing company. And so I do understand the challenges. I know what it's like to make payroll. I know how hard it is to juggle what is the planning thing we need to do versus what is the day-to-day that we're in the midst of right now. So I know that there's a lot of plates in the air, a lot of juggling going on, but that's why I'm here to help today. So let's talk about it. Why should we even do anything? And then what should we do? And kind of create a holiday roadmap so that we have that confidence to be able to move forward. So one of the questions is that why should you even do anything? It would be real easy to say, nah, nada, nothing, not going to do it this year. But I did some online research, and this was an article that I saw, and I'm going to read some of the statistics that are interesting. But what marketing channels do you plan to use for the end of year promotions? And social media and email marketing are two of the very top uses for promoting your company during the holidays. Social media is a dominant marketing channel when it comes to attracting customers, and that's getting them interested in you, having that visibility so that they even see you in the first place. And this is especially true during the holidays. Marketers are recognizing the effectiveness of social media, and these are kind of old numbers. And of course, the economy, we don't know how it is this year, but in 2018, companies spent nearly $27 billion on social media marketing, and that's 25% of their budgets. Think about, have you allocated budget for marketing? And then when you look at it, like I said, a lot of the time some of our biggest sales season is during the holidays. So that is, it may be a quarter of the year, but then it's also what is it that you're actually doing that's going to have the most bang for the buck in a very accelerated, shortened, condensed time period. So I think that's really an interesting factoid. And then what marketing channels delivered the most return on investment in your last campaign? And again, social media, email marketing, and online ads, online advertising were three of the top places to be. One of the things that I think is important is your email list and the email marketing component that you can do. I've heard it recently said, and it was kind of an aha moment for me, you own your email list. That is something that you're gathering over time, you're growing it, you're cleaning it up, you're using it. It is an asset in your business. Where social media, while you can have excellent campaigns, you don't own that. It's a matter of you're waiting for those people to find you so that they can then go do the call to action that you're requesting. Same thing for online ads. All the sophistication of analytics and targeting and all that notwithstanding, what we're talking about here is using platforms that you have a very broad, a message for a very broad audience versus you have a specific targeted message for an audience that you have been nurturing over time and that has expressed some kind of interest in your product or services. So they're more captured and you have more chance to impact what it is that they can do with your call to action. So I think this is a important thing to think about is what is the marketing channel that will be the most effective for you? And then what tactics does your store use to drive holiday sales? Now, this could be an online store or a brick and mortar store. But again, discounts and coupons and deals are the top uses of the kind of tactics that companies use. At the same time, this is also, you know, a sacrifice in terms of potentially your bottom line number. So what is the best use of the resources that you have to get the people in the store so that they will buy your products or services and not just forget about it or not pay attention to what's going on and actually make that purchase decision. According to a holiday survey, 3 to 4 consumers report that sales and promotions are either very or extremely important. I know I'm that kind of person. If I think I'm getting a really good deal, I'm a lot more inclined to hit that purchase, the purchase decision. So I think this is an important component to think about. What incentives can you provide for your people to make the decision to buy now? And so this is part of the whole planning process. What is it going to take to get that sale? And it's also a great way to thank your loyal customers for being with you throughout the year, perhaps, you know, sticking with you during this time of the pandemic, and really thanking them and showing appreciation for their ongoing support. Another thing that we noticed in these statistics was the free delivery, free shipping, and that being a distribution practice that is very effective. So how is that going to fit into not just the profitability of projects, but what are the other resources, the shipping containers, the shipping people, and what does that logistics look like? What about the time frames that you may have to take into consideration? So it is definitely something that people are looking for, and it is part of the whole decision-making process that you need to go through. Another kind of minor point that relates to this is when it comes to free returns, shoppers are also expecting a fast and hassle-free process. And we'll talk about this, but this is the day of the customer or the consumer experience. Way back when it was all about, you know, the agricultural age and the automation age and the industrial age and the knowledge age and all this. And right now, and you can notice it on all the online platforms and advertising on TV, it's all about what is it like to work with my company? Is our customer service wonderful? Is it helpful? I think about the State Farm and you know, Aaron Rodgers and his State Farm, I forget the guy's name, but it's all about, is he on my team? Is he watching out for me? Does he make my purchasing choices? And is he building my loyalty based on literally the interaction of what it's like to experience the service of working with him? So these are the kinds of things that you can be thinking about in terms of what is going to be going on and how are you going to start thinking about what you're going to do. So, okay, so if you think about, we should do something, we should have some kind of holiday promotion, extra discounts or services or just decorations or just an approach to appealing to people during the holidays because of their gift purchasing practices. If you should be doing that, then it's kind of like, okay, well, what should I do? I could do anything, but I can't do everything. So it all really starts with a plan. And I'm kind of, I don't know, kind of a nerd about this, but I do believe that we don't know where we're going unless we have a plan to get there. And so it depends on, these are the kind of some of the headings for it, but what is the market research? And it doesn't have to be sophisticated. It doesn't have to be anything overly complicated, but where are you operating? What do companies do? What are your competition doing? What do you think is going to be going on? Read Google online purchasing during COVID and look at some of the economic kinds of places that you can get some insights about what is actually going on and how do we think we'll be able to adapt to it. Then you think about your target market. Who are those people who are likely to buy your product and service? How well do you know them? Do you have an email for them? Do you know specifically who they are? Another thing is to create personas, which kind of is a it's not a made up, but it's kind of like, if this is my typical client, and you know who your clients or your customers are, what is their age, where do they live, are they in this area, are they external, are they across Nebraska or the Midwest, what does it look like? And then you can start to focus on them and target them and be very specific about their needs and how you can help them. And then you may have segments. Not everyone is going to purchase the same way. So you may have different age groups. You may have different geographies. You may have a very close-knit community that's going to buy your service, or you may kind of want to think, well, there's other people who are farther out. Maybe they're within an hour, or maybe they're the people across Nebraska who would purchase something, but they're going to have delivery. So you start targeting these segments because you understand that they have different needs. And then there's the positioning. What is your perception of the brand in the marketplace? Are you known? Is this your first year? What's word of mouth? Who can you depend on for that? Just what do they know about you and what do they think about you? Are you a luxury type of a product or service, or are you an economy or thrifty, low cost kind of place? All of that just informs how you're going to behave and act as part of your holiday planning. Then we have the competitive analysis, and I know I kind of make it feel like war and everything. We'll talk about guerrilla marketing in another workshop, but you have to know who your competition is, because you have to know how to compete against them, how you can differentiate yourself, how you can stand out from that competition and get those dollars and get the eyeballs and then the dollars to be able to flow in. Then what is your market strategy? This is the path to the goals that you have, which would be sales goals. And then your job is to be finding buyers, helping them understand what your product is, and then selling to them, so that they have to kind of move through that sales funnel. They have to know about you. They have to like you, compare you with the competition, you win, and then they will trust you and they will buy your products. So in the market strategy, I like to break it down into traditional marketing, digital, and social, because digital and social are very close, but it's also a matter of, again, like with email, do you have that list, or is it social, where you're putting a message out there and appealing to people to probably come to your website to close the deal. Then there's the budget. What is your month-by-month schedule? How much do you have to spend in a year? How much you can allocate during this time of the year? Is it going to be, straight across the board, or are you going to invest more in the promotional activities and advertising, those kinds of things? And then what would be that red light moment when you decide, nope, this isn't working out, I'm going to stop? And that's scenario planning. What if this doesn't happen? Then this is going to be how I'm going to respond. So these are all important kinds of things to be thinking about. And then finally, of course, there's metrics, tracking your performance, keeping a daily tab on daily sales, weekly sales, monthly sales. This is where website analytics can come into place, but it's really good to track what is going on so that you'll have it next year, but then you can start looking at really good the outcomes of the activities that you're doing. So from the standpoint of this is a general marketing plan, well, then let's just kind of apply it to the holiday season. So you can take all of these same thoughts and think about, okay, for this holiday season, what have I done before? Have I done Christmas promotions or Christmas discounts? What do other companies do? This is also why it's really good to really notice what's going on in the marketplace where your competition is. Who gets your holiday message, gift, or invitation? Do you have emails? Is it going to be, are you going to buy a list that you would want to send out postcards or something in a particular geographic area? Who are you going to invite to come to your place to take advantage of your offers? How does this fit with your brand? If you're a luxury brand, then how do you want to have a discount? How much would that discount be? Do you want to price it so that you're now more equal with a competitive, or do you want to make sure that you're staying true to that luxury brand and feel? These are kinds of things that you can think about. What are your competitors doing? And then how can you stand out? If they do this, then maybe you want to do that. You always want to look different from them so that you give your customers and clients a clear choice of this or that. And then your market strategy, what can you do? What have you done in the past? What are you willing to do in the future? What are the resources that it's going to take, and the timing, the preparation, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. What is the budget? How much do you want to spend? How much do you need to spend? How much do you want to spend? What do you have to spend? Do you need to spend anything at all? Can you find some other ways of promoting your products and services in a word of mouth or other kinds of ways? And then again, tracking the activity and the sales so that you know this year for next year's decisions, and you can start evaluating what is working and what is not working so well. I'm not really seeing any comments in the chat, but just we'll keep going if we want as we go along. So, you know, I'll keep an eye on it. So here's breaking down the traditional, digital, and social, just from the different platforms and the different things that you can do. Traditional are the pretty commonplace things that are probably decreasing as digital, and social are increasing at the same time. For some small businesses, this may be what your best bet is for the kinds of things that are affordable and scalable to a smaller company. You know, specialty items, public relations, door hangers. Maybe you're a neighborhood business and you want to do a door hanger to have a holiday open house or a holiday special hours or something like that. These would be some of the things that you could do. Digital would be, what are you going to put on your website? Are there special offers, special holiday decorations on it? You know, how are you going to show that this is a special holiday approach that you're taking? What about email campaigns? This is when, you know, looking at your list that you've got, are you willing to offer a series of campaigns that could nurture them to want to come in and remind them about the different kinds of products that you sell, and then focusing on how you can help them have a successful holiday season without all that grumbling and that chaos and that stress. And then social, what are you going to do? How can you post things that are going to generate that awareness about what your business is, and using the social as a way to get back to your website and be able to make the online purchases there, or just get to know familiar and making sure that people know what your holiday hours would be, for example. I did see the question, my slides available after the session. I know that we had sent them out. I think I can reduce the size of them, but yes, glad to make them available to you so you can take notes and then kind of revisit it later. So here's your roadmap. Thinking about the holidays, there's a whole bunch of made up as well as real holidays that we're facing. There's Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Giving Tuesday, then all the holiday sales, and then of course ringing in 2021. So, and I will continue to think about the service business because that's my business too. So same things with customers and specialty things. It's when you're a service, you're really trying to capture that service with the client for likely repeat kinds of transactions. So getting them to feel your appreciation for their loyalty is really important. So here's some ideas from Giving Tuesday is the Tuesday after Thanksgiving, where there's a lot of donations and to nonprofits is my expectation or my understanding of Giving Tuesday. So here's some ideas again about what to do during the holidays. There's this website resource said that there's 50 events happening around the world in November and December. Now that's around the world, but surely there's a lot that's going on. And that the holiday season, I don't know, I think it's really over 2 months. We're already decorating for it and seeing it in the stores. And I think we're starting to see some of the, be thinking ahead, and we'll start to see those Christmas commercials on TV. They're on social and digital, you know, campaigns are starting now. Can your website handle additional traffic? That's one of those logistic things that you want to make sure that if you have some social announcements and you send people to the website, can it handle it? So you want to make sure you're working with your IT team or your website provider. Get your channels to work together. Again, with social, you would want to have announcements, create this personality, help get this message out to a very broad audience, and then you want to send them back to your website so that they can get more detail, they can make a connection with you, and they can potentially purchase online services. So it's always getting people back to the website, because that is where you're 24/7, and that is the place where you can really put in buckets all the information of what it takes to do business with your company. Yep, Small Business Saturday, saw that, I forgot about that one too. And I think that's the Saturday after Black Fridays so that small businesses really have their special day so people can support them, which is, this would be a great thing for a lot of you all as part of the SBA and the SCORE program, is to participate in a neighborhood area or team together with other firms that are in your, perhaps in your networks, so that you can really promote the local, purchasing local. Create promo codes and checkout processes. Again, you want to make sure that the easier that you make it for your customers to work with you, the better off their experience is going to be. And then, pre-plan like we talked about, and then also after this, okay, what worked, what didn't work, what would you do the same, what do you not need to do at all, so that you can save this and then build a better program next year and have really good outcomes next year. And I think, here we are in October, I would probably start thinking about the holidays even in the July timeframe, because you want to be well positioned so that you can streamline and go smoothly into the holidays without it being oh my gosh, I've got so much to do and I still have a business to run during this time. Err on the side of simplicity, and I tend to be this way. The simpler you make it, the better it is in terms of execution, and you're more likely to find success. So this one site said, one idea, one behavior, one benefit and one emotion. Don't try to confuse people with too much to do, too many things, too many choices. Don't experiment, although I think this year is going to be an experimental year for a lot of businesses, because what they thought was going to happen and how we've had to react to different kinds of practices, we're definitely going to have to adjust to all different kinds of scenarios. What is it going to be like for people to come to your place of business? And then this is that customer experience. You don't want them to have something that is completely something that they're completely not used to experiencing with your business. So you don't want to surprise them. You don't want them to be concerned about, well, you used to do this and what are you doing now? This just really isn't the same kind of experience that I have. This is your branding and your positioning in the marketplace. And then this is using social media to connect. So again, bring people in, build awareness with social media, and then have them come into your shop or your website to make the purchase. Sorry, you guys. There we go. You're ready to react and adapt quickly. Make sure you've got backups, plan Bs. What about additional staff or people to help you with the business during holiday hours and rush times? Just make sure that you've thought it through so that you're not suddenly caught unaware. And the best planning is pre-planning. And if you've got a plan B, then maybe a plan C would also be good. Do you need to have customer service and your shipping and your returns and all that? Does that need to stay the same, or do you need to accelerate that? And this is an important bullet, is be prepared to respond in hours, not days. People are going to want immediate results and immediate responsiveness. And so think about that ahead of time. Where could be some of the gaps in your service? So when you're talking about content, clearly communicate your benefits. It's the so what. It's we have, which means so that. Think about it in terms of, why would your customer want to purchase your service or your product? What is the benefit for them? It will save them time, save them money, make them more beautiful, be healthy. What is the benefit of using your product or service so that it can enhance their life and they can feel better about using it? Make things interesting. Be clever, without being trite, but make it so that they're going to lean into it and be very interested. Use subject lines that stand out. And this is an interesting statistic that I didn't know, but more than 3/4 of online shoppers choose to leave without completing their purpose. So I know in some situations where I've left, I've gotten an email that came back and said, you didn't purchase, did you mean to? What are you going to do? So what is that email sequence that you can follow up with your clients in case something they forgot to say by now, or for whatever reason, you can make sure that you're going to get them to make that decision. Solve your clients' problems. They have problems all the time. Talk about their problems and show how your product or service can help them. This is a way to stand out from the competition, because we have a tendency to focus on all the features of our products, and it's blue, it's green, it's yellow. And if you say it's blue because then it will fit in with any decor, then that really helps them to see why they should buy yours. and provide value. Make sure that the work that you're doing this time of year is going to stand the test of time, and isn't going to be something that fails or isn't a good long-term buying decision, because you're building your reputation. Got a question in the chat. Are faster responses expected on some media platforms as opposed to others? I mean, clearly, you know, social is a very fast news cycle, so to speak. So I do think that people want to know very quickly how can they get from one place to another. And I think when it comes to what is that online purchasing experience on your website, you need to make it clear. You need to make it clear so that it's easy for them. I know in some instances I've gone into some sites and they ask so many questions that goes on and on and on. So think about the navigation through that, as well as how do you get them to click on the boxes so that they get exactly what they want in the least amount of clicks. So somebody said, is a 3/4 statistic potentially why Amazon defends one-click purchases in IP law so fiercely? I'm guessing so. I know that we want to make it so that we don't have all of our information stored at the same time. That makes it so that it's very easy to come back and buy more and repeat that transaction. Don't you love technology? So there is an influencer strategy. So if you have customers and clients who are using your services, how can you lean into them and give you testimonials, refer people, give them a referral bonus, or bring a friend, get a discount? How can you help use that influencer strategy to get more eyes on your products as well as sales in your pocketbook? So think about it in terms of holiday events and how it may help where your product may be. If you have, let's say, jewelry, then you may want to say, if you have a friend and you can get a discount if you refer them and they bring a coupon or a card or something like that. So it's a matter of looking at a special holiday effort that would build on the loyalty of your current clients, as well as use their experience to leverage more sales. Ask your clients to show how products are being used. I know my sister works out at one of those fitness places. I can't remember the name of it, but it's one of those places where they do all kinds of weights and really serious weightlifting kinds of things. But they show their clients, their customers using their equipment in their promotional on their website and elsewhere, because then it kind of adds a humanity to it. It's like, oh, I'm not a bodybuilder kind of person, but that person, I look like them and they look like, if they can do it, then maybe I can do it. So it really does help to build this this alignment and this recognition that if they do it, then I can do it too. And you always want people to try your products. Maybe you have ways of doing tests, or having examples or testing sites in your store, or try this, or sending out a little test size of your product. Maybe you have some food and you can have a taste testing or an event that can have people come in ahead of time, maybe at the end of October, so that they can taste test things that they would be ordering in November or December. So avoid the false urgency, because like right now might not be the time to buy popcorn, but you want to give them a reason to buy. So people are looking for special deals. They know what is going to be coming about this time of year. So you want to recognize that, you want to build on that expectation, and you want to incentivize it as long as it still makes difference. So again, that's where you may have a discount. And at some point, I think you would want to say buy now, depending on the lifespan of your product or your service. But you can say buy now, or put a expiration date on a coupon or a special offer. Must be used by, maybe it's January 15th or something like that, so that they get it now, so that they'll make sure to use it in plenty of time. My husband used to own candle stores back in Arizona, and we were talking about gift certificates and those kinds of things that a lot of people buy during the holidays. And he said it was amazing to him how many people would buy a gift certificate for a friend or a family person, but then that person would never redeem it. And so he said it was just money in our pocket. And he said it was just amazing to him how many times people didn't actually use those. Not that you want to take advantage of people, but that is something to be thinking about in terms of offering a discount or a gift certificate. They may never get used. Don't forget about your existing customers. Think about the return policies. Make sure that they're generous, and that a lot of people aren't going to do anything until after the first of the year, after the holidays are over. So you might want to take that into consideration with expiration dates. And here we talk about the pathway to purchase for a repeat customer looks different. Again, they may know your website. They may know what it takes to do business with you. They may know about your standard policies. Be sensitive if you change them. At the same time, if they know how to work with you, then you can make it very easy for them to make more decisions to purchase from you, and thank them for it. You know, maybe Thanksgiving is one of the ways that you want to celebrate the holidays would be to send out Thanksgiving cards or Thanksgiving special discounts or something like that, but to your existing and your loyal clients and customers, so that that endears them to you to them even more. And think about if there were special promos that you had last year, or maybe you had something in May. If you have that purchasing information, then you can offer a special now or remind them it's time to reorder some more of that. Make sure that you're making it easy for your customers so that they automatically get the products that run out. I know I do that with my vitamins so that I don't even have to think about it. They show up when I need them. And that way I know that it's so easy, I don't even have to think about it. Well, that's a good way to really build your relationship with your clients. So we're almost kind of to the end of some brainstorming conversations. So one of the things I thought about is helping your customers celebrate the holidays, and whatever your product or service is there a way that people celebrate during the holidays that you could help them with? For example, if you have a house cleaning service, maybe you could offer a special deal or a special extra service during the holidays, because you know that they're going to be hopefully they'll be having family in their home. So how can you incentivize that, and how can you make your customers' holidays be more relaxing and stress-free? Because that's a problem that we all have during the holidays. So how can you help them? If your customers have company parties, let's say you're a B2C and I usually work with architects, engineers, and contractors. If I know that my engineers are going to be having a holiday parties or a holiday open house, what if I purchased, a bunch of cookies for their holiday open house, and to thank them for their business throughout the year? It's kind of helping them. It's having me be top of mind in their eyes, and I'm just being helpful. I'm being very open and generous to help them be more successful. If your clients are having luncheons, could you sponsor the dessert? Little things like that, maybe some creative ways to stand out and really endear your clients to the kind of personality that you want to have, the kind of relationship that you want to experience with them. Do they have mixers and open houses? Can you help in some way with that? If you're a cleaning service and you do traditionally, you're in a corporate situation, could you offer a special, hey, if you have your holiday open house here, we're glad to clean it up and put something really creative in terms of how you'll be able to help them maybe the day before their event, so that they know that their facility is going to be nice and clean. What about your clients' corporate gifts? If you've got something, can you provide a quantity for them, or packaging or shipping or something that will help your clients with their holiday gift giving? And most people have family events, no matter what the holiday is. Is your product or service something that you could think, oh, if they're going to be having an event, how can my product or service help them be more specific to it? So it's kind of thinking outside the box, but it's also like, well, you're giving them an excuse to want to work with you and to purchase your products. And in a very targeted holiday specific focus, it could be very enchanting to them and really stand out. Here we've got a comment. We've sent Thanksgiving cards for many years. It's a great way to show your customers you care about them. Absolutely, Jeff. Some of my vendors that I've got, I don't hear from them like with a Christmas card, because they know that they're probably going to get lost in the pile, and I get a Thanksgiving card. or maybe I'll get a St. Patrick's Day card or some other card throughout the year that says thinking about you, because we are inundated with cards and specials and promotions and all this during Christmas time. So maybe part of your strategy is not to do something that is expected and do something different at another time of the year so that it stands out. Help your customers shop. And I know I kind of fall for these all the time, but top picks. So if you have a series of products, maybe you are a candle company, you could create a flyer that has special candles that have a holiday theme to them, and you could make them a discount, or you could just show them on your website or in a flyer or something like that, so that drives that choice for your clients to look at those items, and they're all just already kind of thought through what the holiday looks like for them. It's always good to have a price range on those kinds of things, and you can even kind of categorize them that way. But I always like the help me do my shopping. So now's the time that I thought about having some brainstorming. So we've gotten some ideas about Thanksgiving cards. What are some of the things that you've done in the past that have been home runs? And then if you've done something and it didn't turn out that same way, this is a group that we can help each other. So how can we help each other be successful? What are some home runs? What are some things that didn't work out, or what questions might you have? And I'll just leave it on the screen for a little bit of time so we can engage and see what people are thinking. I know I worked for a little agency a couple of years ago, and we had a very strong military kind of a brand. And I know one year, we always handed out, just as a general thing, Army Men, and it was the name of the company was Tank Girl Marketing, and we had pink Army Men, so that was really kind of clever, and people liked them, and they would collect the Army Men, and then they would put them like next to their computer and take pictures and send them back to us. So we did that all the time. Well, a couple of years ago, the game Chutes and Ladders, where there's chutes and ladders to go up. We took that theme and adapted it, and we called it was parachutes and rope ladders, and we kind of redesigned it with the military theme, with some parachutes coming down like the chutes part of the game, and then some rope ladders between some of the squares going up to like a helicopter. And then we had the spots on the board where check out your website or go back 3 spaces. And then we had different color of the Army Men for the game pieces. So we had this board made, we had really clever instructions, and it was all on this, our own version of Chutes and Ladders. And then we sent them off in mailing tubes, and had amazing, people just loved it. And it was really fun when I heard that one architectural firm actually played that game at a house or something with some of their teaming partners. So it was kind of like, well, that's what it was supposed to do, is give the users a fun experience, have them think about us. We had the chance in some of the game pieces to remind them the kind of work that we did, and it was just a blast. So here's some of the things that you can see. From Elizabeth, one of the service businesses delivered a Christmas present in December. It was a really nice surprise. Yeah, people love surprises, and sometimes just getting some very nice home baked cookies or really nice bakery cookies to send to give to your clients is a good idea. I don't know how COVID's going to apply to this year, and we need to be very sensitive to that, but we might be able to do, not contactless and packaged goods that are really good. What is my estimate of how holiday sales will compare with COVID compared to last year? I think we're going to see a lot of online purchasing, clearly, just for the safety's sake. And I think people have just kind of gone to a virtual world, and we've gotten used to ordering things online. I am very optimistic that people are pent up with wanting to, I don't want to say get back to normal, because it never will be, but I think people want to celebrate and be positive. And maybe I'm a Pollyanna, but I want to think that we're going to see an uptick in Christmas spending this year, especially if people want to invest in their homes and the things that are going on in their homes. Here's one. I'm a new speaker, trainer, and coach. Can you give me some tips on how I can generate clients to purchase my online workshop? yeah, I mean, in that kind of a situation, I would say post socially, find places that can sponsor you to do a post, do an online interview with someone and someone who you've worked with, or show people what it's like to experience your speaking and your training, and that will endear them to you and have them be interested in you. And I think word of mouth will be really important, is when you have worked with someone, then they would be able to say, hey, I've met this person. You could probably do a real quick video and have it be something that they could send an email to a referral, someone that they could refer you to. Just really quick idea. Here's another one. I've got a social media presence, which does a bunch of satire, and using that account, I announced Sneaky Christmas, where you could get 2-for-1 deals on popular items. Because let's face it, when you post, when you see this, you want to keep it for yourself, and we don't want you to scramble to find another gift for your friends and family. I love it. I love it. That is clever, and it is fun. I mean, you can't help but smile when you see that, and it is giving them a reason why they would want to buy too, because you're going to like one, and people want to give what they like. So, you know, that's part of that message as well. That's very, very well done. If you send out a gift, encourage your clients to take a picture of it and post on social media with the tag of your business. Absolutely. You could also do a giveaway by picking one of those posts as a winner. Absolutely. And that would be something that you could do as a series, so that maybe every week you have more of those, and maybe then you have a grand prize, so that you're generating it over time and it brings people in that they want to practice. I know a lot of firms have, like, maybe they'll have a coloring book of their products or their services. They'll have those made, and then they'll send them out to people, and they'll have a contest, send it back in, and we'll, you know, send your picture, and we'll make a choice, or we'll choose the best one. Or have your kids draw a picture. You know, getting people to engage with other people is always a really wonderful human emotion, and trying to connect people. Facebook Live event featuring special holiday items and holiday cocktail everyone can sample together. Send recipes to people ahead of time. So I think what I hadn't really thought about is, how can you have a virtual event? You know, could you send out an invitation to people, send them maybe a cookie and a small cocktail, or I was just on a meeting earlier today where, just to do business development, business people they found out the particular kind of alcohol that a client would love. They bought him a bottle of that. They sent it to them, and they said, hey, I can't take you out for your holiday or a cocktail hour, but if you would like, how about 15 minutes and we can have a drink together, so that it's safe. I think you have to be very conscious of, you know, drinking preferences, but you could also have, you know, virgin champagne or hot mulled cider or something like that. And you could have a virtual networking event or a virtual open house, so that you could still stay connected with your clients. And again, I think it's a matter of working with the tools that we have, so that we can maintain the human connection and stay in front of our customers' minds. Here's another one. Our business last year ran a special for clients that came in. They would receive a discount if they came into the office wearing an ugly Christmas sweater or shirt. Everyone thought it was so fun. That's great. Again, I think even taking pictures of an ugly Christmas sweater and sending it in and having a competition, or a prize at the end, maybe they get the ugliest one you can ever find. You know, the more you can engage people to participate and play the games of, that is the customer experience that we're talking about. And people love it. People want to feel like they're part of something. We all want to belong. So I think it's a matter of, how can you be creative? And it doesn't always have to cost a lot of money. If you have a Zoom account, and you can get one $16 a month, you can have a Zoom account and you can host something and you can bring people together. And if you're, you could even have people introduce themselves. So if you have some who are customers or clients and some people who are new, then you can have your existing customers, you know, they can tell the wonders of working with you to those other people, and you're not having to tell them. So it's just a matter of being creative and connecting people with an experience that is appropriate for your company, your brand, and how you want to be perceived. If you do something that is off color or just not part of what your brand promise is, then you're putting your whole reputation at risk. So I think it's what fits into the personality of your brand. And thinking about it, if we have client personas, what is a persona of what your product is or your service? If you're a cleaning company, for example, then you're about cleanliness and health and safety and making sure that everything's orderly. Well, is there something, maybe you could, as some of a little specialty product for your clients, maybe you could put some special things, if you like an office setting, maybe you could put some, a hand wrapped sponge for them to take home. You could put it on the seats of everybody who is sitting in that office place, and just say, we want to make sure that you're safe and that you're clean. And maybe it's wipes this time of year, this year, that you want to give them something so that they're healthy and safe. Maybe masks are something that we'll be seeing a lot more of this year. I'm pretty sure that's going to be the case. But how can we promote healthy activities that are good, that fit along, and the activities fit along with the brand that we are, and it builds the personality of the brand so that it becomes more memorable. Octoprint does custom masks now. Yeah, I think it's crazy. It's crazy what we're starting to see with all these masks. So let's go on, and I do have some more time for Q&A at the end. So what does holiday success look like? Now I'd like to hear from you. What would be success for you? And you're doing your postmortem plan on January 15th. What do you want to say that was something successful that you did for holidays in 2020? What would be your dream? What would you love to be able to look back and have said that you can, that now it'll kind of point you to where you want to be in January 15th of 2020? Meanwhile, here's another question. My daughter is an artist. What are your thoughts about having her designing a handmade card we should reproduce and send? Absolutely. I worked at an architectural firm, and the principal in our company was an artist of some kind, and he was thrilled when we asked him to design our Christmas cards, and we did it about 3 or 4 years, but it meant something to him. He took such personal care in it, and it was something that it was a gift to our client. It was something that we made sure that he was recognized on it, and that the personal touch, the family connection, the parental pride, there is so much to be said for that. Maybe you've got a couple of people that you work with. Maybe you could each have your kids draw a holiday card, or they could create a door hanger that you hand out to, or put on doors in your neighborhood, or whatever that looks like. But how can you involve the people in your life and the people that are important to you as part of this holiday celebration, so that it really is a fun experience from beginning to end? So I'm not seeing what everybody's what they want to be saying on January 15th. For example, I might say, I would like to survive the holidays and not be grumpy. That would be a good thing, which means that I'm going to have a plan in place and I'm going to keep it simple. Maybe for me, I'm going to pick my top 5 clients and I'm going to write them a note. I'm going to be appreciative of the work that we've got done this year and how we've endured COVID. I could write them a thank you note with the one thing that I appreciate the most about working with them. Those would be things that would be easy for me to do. And I can be thoughtful, and it reinforces my personality as a consultant, and how I want them to trust me to help them with their businesses. I mentioned the marketing agency that I did. You could have an email nurturing campaign that's kind of the 12 days of Christmas, or 86 days of Christmas, or whatever, and have something every day for 30 days that is something about your business, or something that is problems that your clients have, and stories about your clients solving their problems with your product or your service, or how you've helped them. A lot of companies at this time of year donate to something, a nonprofit, and they make sure that their clients know that. Maybe if in your particular business, there is a nonprofit that is related to that would really show your support for this industry that you're in. Here's another one. By January 2021, I would like to accomplish a 15% increase in clientele, have a proper email list for contacts. Yes, that could be the best holiday gift of all, is to start 2021 off with a really strong and sustainable and adaptable and flexible email list. Make sure that you're segmenting those people and that you're sending things out to help them solve their problems. on a regular basis. May I also mention, even if the 5 clients are pre-sales. So, I would like to see at least 5 clients purchase my online service, workshop, and private sessions. So how can we break that down? We've got between now and the holidays, maybe what your goal could be is, in order to accomplish this, 1 a week. What 1 person would you be able to sign up per week so that you would achieve that 5? So break these goals down into something that is achievable and then focus on that. The more serious or focused you are, and the more actionable it can become. Increase my constant contact list by 100. Great. So how many is that per week? And how are you going to increase that list? You know, where are you going to get the new people that you want to be able to put in there? And, you know, if maybe every conversation you have with someone, you might say, can I add you to my email list? To make sure that you're staying in touch with the specials that we have or the value that we provide. So part of it is just asking for their information, and then you can keep track of it. And I would say do keep track. Give yourself an A+ every time you add one of those, somebody to your email list, or you book that training event, because you need to have this celebration when you're working hard and you're making your goals. Here's another one. I would like to have 10 new clients and 2 referrals from each one. Boy, that's a lot. That would mean 30 new clients, essentially. Maybe not, those 2 referrals haven't closed, but 10 new clients. Okay, so is that 1 a week for 10 weeks? Is it 2 a week for 5 weeks? What are the steps to get those new clients? Do they know who you are now? Is it someone who is in your funnel and you can connect with? You could set up a virtual meeting. You could see about buying them a Starbucks card, or deliver a Starbucks to their house or their office so that you can have a virtual meeting or meet them someplace. What are the steps that it's going to take to get those people? Because if you have a plan, then you're more likely to follow it. And if you tell people what you want them to do, they're likely to do it. So that's a great goal. You've got 10 new clients. What are the steps to be able to turn those clients? And then making sure that you ask 2 referrals. Are they going to get a referral bonus? What do they get something for giving you those referrals? And that could be it could be a Amazon gift card for $10, or it could be something online, but is there an incentive? And people love deals, so that would be a possibility. So see, we've got all these ideas on what holiday success can look like, and if we just kind of put it out there and say, this is what I want to have happen, then we go back to the plan and we say, what are the steps to be able to get there? So, gosh, I'm just about at the time. I'll do this real quick. Tell you a little about SCORE. SCORE is the nation's largest network of volunteer business mentors. And the SCORE chapter in Nebraska is awesome. And we really do want to help entrepreneurs and startup business and establishing a business with their mentoring program. So we've got the contact information for SCORE. It's free. You're working with people who know how to run a business. They've been there, they've done that. They're amazing with their stories and their insights. And it really launches your success, as well as gives you peace of mind that you're doing the right thing, and they'll give you really good feedback. Any other questions? Sorry about that. We're right at the time. Any questions that you've got? I'm going to give you my email address, barbara@everestmarketingservices.com. I'm glad to answer your questions. I know that Elizabeth is glad to take some of your questions as well. We'll make sure that we send out the slides afterwards, after this, so you can follow up on it. And best wishes to you. Enjoy the holidays. I hope your January 15th, 2021 goals are met. And that you really do have a chance to celebrate the success of being a business owner and being very successful and navigating through all this craziness that we've got. You can do it, and cheers to a great holiday season.